Oh, hello, my wonderful brothers of the Maverick Nation, and it is I, the Dark Shadow Maverick, once again bringing you more What If-ery on the side of My Hero Academia, yes, and Bleach, because here we have part 2 of What If Deku was Izuku Midoriya was I le, 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 what was I was a hollow. This is part 2. Basically, everything up until now for Bakugo, because we joined the story. It's with Bakugo. He's here to basically have been relatively fine, but as Izawa says, like we're going to USJ. It's just like hmm. Basically, as Azawa saying that they were going to the USJ, and I forget the name of the girl who was like, Universal Studios Japan. And basically, Azawa was like, no. But he actually says the actual name of the place. And I forget the name of the place, so I'm just going to call it the USJ. So yeah, basically, they go there, but they realize some freaking weird shit is happening because actually, no, they don't go there yet. They don't go there yet. It's like it's actually a little bit before like the USJ thing. Like it's just like a regular day at school. This is just a little bit. This is like maybe like a few days before they go to USJ. I'm trying to set some stuff up for whenever the actual USJ thing happens. It's really like a few days before they go to USJ. And basically like the class is basically like Izawa's giving out his lessons and stuff because he's a teacher. He's teaching the heroes, and basically, gotta remember, yeah, Rubarai from part 1. Basically, he's like he's at the window, but no one except for Bakugo can like freaking see him. Like Uraraka can kind of see him because of the whole like Reiatsu like shield barrier thing he put around. She kind of got a little like influence of that inside of her, and so she's kind of able to see him. It's kind of like he's sort of transparent, but she's kind of able to see him. And Rubara is basically just like, you need to find a way to get out of class. And Bakugo was just like, why? And it's like, it's an emergency. Some hollow. I don't know what type it is, but there were several lieutenant class Soul Reapers Shinigami sent over here to investigate its appearance in the world of the living. However, more and more of them kept on just going missing. We eventually found out that they weren't just going missing, they were being killed by what seemed to be what our Captain Commander had feared the most. The hollow that had gotten to the living world, this world, was an Ankarar level hollow. That's why the lieutenants, they were barely just lieutenant level, like myself. I'm ashamed to admit, I'm not that strong. But still, they were still lieutenants, and this Ankara level hollow was just killing them off and leaving their bodies without souls, just eating the souls and leaving the bodies behind as they just dispersed into nothingness. And whatever ones that they weren't eaten were just left unconscious, barely clinging on to life. I need you, Bakugo, man. This is an emergency. And Bakugo's basically like, well, I was talking with my Zanpakuto, like you said, like you taught me how to do that, like the whole thing with like connecting with it. And apparently it didn't really want to reveal its face, but it did tell me its name. It's actually sort of a twist on the name of your Zanpakuto. Instead of the name of yours, apparently because of my quirk, the Zanpakuto has changed, and with it, the name as well. My Zanpakuto is Sore no Bakuhatsu. Basically, Bakuhatsu, but basically, uh, like, Zanpakutos are like in Japanese. Basically, in English, Rukia Zanpakuto, the name for it is like, Sleeves of White Snow. Basically, changed it to Sleeves of Explosion. That's why Bakuhatsu. So basically, Sore no Bakuhatsu. That's the name of my Zanpakuto. And basically, Rubara is just like, okay then. Well then, take Sore no Bakuhatsu with you. You're going to need it. Oh, and by the way, about your body, yeah, try to leave it somewhere where it's not as obvious next time. And then he's just like, well, you were the one who was like haphazardly training me. I barely learned anything from your stupid little exercises. And basically, like, the entire classes are like wondering, why is he mumbling to himself? It's like, and Bakugo's just like, okay, fine. Uh, uh, uh. And then Isawa just like, yes, Bakugo. And Bakugo's just like, I, gotta go. It's something important. And Isawa's like, I knew the old Bakugo was going to come back eventually. He's just like, oh dear God. And basically Bakugo's like, okay, fine, I'm out. And Sore no Bakuhatsu's with me as well. And basically, Rubara is like, there, you feel it? And 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 freaking Bakugo is just like, this is this crushing power of spiritual pressure. And basically, Izawa was like, so, class, you mind, wanting to see what, Bakugo's actually doing? Because I know it's not like some sort of bathroom thing. It's like everyone's, like, interested in there, and they're just like, Izawa instantly knew they were all interested, and he was like, so, seeing as, my lesson seems to have not taken top priority, let's just go and see what Bakugo's doing. But, let's try to be quiet about it to not, attract any attention. Basically, like, Bakugo's just like, okay, wherever you are, show yourself. And then All Might just comes out of nowhere, and he's just like, uh, Bakugo. And Bakugo's just like, All Might, what are you doing here? You're not the spiritual pressure I'm sensing. Then who is? And then it's just like, All Might's just like, I'm in the middle of battle, so you'll have to excuse me. And Bakugo's just like, in the middle of a battle with who? And basically, All Might's just so OP, he can just see the souls. Like, he is like just so Omega plus ultra level that he can just see them just with his awesomeness alone. And he's just like, Texas, smash! And it like goes and it hits the mask, like hits a mask and it breaks it. And it's like, you broke the mask I was using to elude myself. And basically, it's like, so, All Might, I really will get a fight out of you yet. Basically, Bakugo was like, wait, you're Izuku? Is that really you? And Izuku's just like, oh, look, it's Bakugo. It seems you've taken on the role a little bit too much. Didn't think of you as someone who would be a Shinigami. And just another one I'll have to get rid of. They all seem to want to go after me to kill me, now that I've shown my presence in the living world. And now even All Might's angry at me. And All Might's just like, young Midoriya, what is the meaning of this? I thought you were... And Izuku's just like, dead? Technically, yes. But I came back as a hollow. And then I began to slowly evolve more and more until I reached the state of Ankarar, the most powerful state of hollow evolution. And now, as on Pakuto, my very own Dark Void, before I came here, I asked it if it would be able to tell me just how comparably strong I am before I was able to get here to the other Espada of the tales that we heard of. Basically, it's like Bakugo's just like he just like what the, and basically Izuku explains it. He basically explains Espada número 6, Grimjao Jaggerjack, in both regular and in release state. Both in my regular state I'm as powerful as him, and in my release state I am as powerful as Pantera. And Bakugo just getting floored by this. He's like, the hell is going on? And Izuku was like, please tell me you're not going to hold back just because you know it's me. Because, to tell you the truth, whenever I died and said what I said, I gave any sort of caring or happy-go-luckiness that I had to you. Why do you think it's been so easy for you to just throw away all that stuff you did? It's because I gave you my pure heart. Now I am truly hollow. I have been truly hollow. Now you have my kind heart, and now I am hollow. You have that power, yet you don't seem to use it. A pity. It would have been nice to be able to have some fun with you. And he's basically just like, Yatsuga, Chencho! And freaking, like, Bakugo's just like, wait, what? I have to counter. Getsuga, Chencho! And it's just like, boom! It's like they connect, and he's just like, so, Dark Void was right. you know it too. Yet I see it's made its own sort of way, using your quirk to enhance it. While I use my hollow power to enhance mine. Let's see what is stronger, your quirk or my hollow power. Are you ready? Because if you don't, I'll just have to eat everyone here. I am very hungry after all. And Bakugo was like, no, I won't let you. And Izuku's like, you and what arm you gonna stop me? And he's basically just like, freezer burn. Sode no Bakuhatsu. Basically, that's the release for his Shikai is freezer burn. And he's just like, freezer burn. Sode no Bakuhatsu. And he's just like, your Shikai, I see. I will get fun out of you yet. And he just pops up in front of him and he's like, well, get ready. Getsuga. And then, like, he just, like, Izuku, like, prepares a Sero and it's just like, taste this. Sero. He's like, Tenshio. And I was like, basically, it's like, well then, it seems you're quite impressive. Right now, you're around 65 to 70% of me whenever I'm at my normal state with you and your Shikai. How? I wonder if I were to push you further. And he's just like, well, let's see. And he's just like, Getsuga Tensho. And Bakugo was like, Getsuga Tensho. But like, Izuku powers his up with like a Sero, like, Sero. And then like, Bakugo's just like, oh, what's their impact? It's like, he just shoots it through his, like, and like, whoosh, like, and just like, whenever all the dust and rubble clears up, it's all like Izuku's like, how? How did you? And he just looks, and he has like a big scar on his chest, like with Grimjow. Basically, just like, you managed to damage me. Well then, I'll keep this scar as a commemoration of this day. Now, Deku, Dark Void. And he just automatically goes into his resurrection, but he like gets stomped by something, and it's like, wait, what is this? And he's like, okay, fine. You really want me to go? I'll go then. Frostbite and freezer burn. Sode no Bakutatsu. Basically, his Shikai is freezer burn and his Bankai is frostbite and freezer burn. And basically, he's just like, this is Bankai. And basically, just like imagine like freaking invasion just picking up in the background, like dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And it's like like freaking Invasion in the background, or like freaking Aizen's theme, just like some shit in the background, or just like picking up. And it's basically like a Bakugo's now in his Bankai, and now freaking Izuku's in his Resurrection, which basically now everyone except for Bakugo, Izuku himself, and All Might are just like crushed against the freaking floor. Like the spiritual pressure is just so strong. Just exuding from both of them. And like Bakugo's just like, this is the end. Full power. Getsuga Tensho! And Izuku's just like, well then, I better stop playing around. He just takes the blood and he's like, Gran Rey Cerro, Meteoritos. Basically, Gran Rey Cerro, but it's like a bunch of Gran Rey Cerros because, like, Meteoritos, like, from, like, Stark's power. And basically, like, whoosh! And, like, boom! Like, we're like, Bakugo's just like, that's it! Full power! And just like, and it was like, waboosh! And basically, like, Izuku's just like, come on. I thought you were going to fight me. What? This feeling. Damn. You're tougher than you look. Too bad it's going to have to end with you. Sarah. And he just gets like held back. He's like, what? And Dark Void's just like, no. Remember, the goal wasn't to kill him. It was, well, I believe you remember. And Izuku's just like, fine. However, we seem to have not been able to accomplish that. However, we did seem to have gotten a new. We seem to have gotten a new lab rat in Bakugo. And Bakugo's just like, lab rat? What the hell do you mean by lab rat? Oh, nothing. It's just, we know something a little special is planned, considering the USJ. In the future, we've been able to tell. Aizawa, you plan to have them all go there. It'll be most interesting seeing what happens then. And basically, whenever the whole USJ thing does happen, like, Aizawa's got extra precautions because he's like, he does not want that to happen again. And even All Might's at the ready. He's good. He's at the ready. He's got this. Basically, like, Bakugo had to go all the way to Bankai, and freaking Izuku, like, went all the way into his resurrection. And basically, Bakugo's just like, so, what do I do now? I've reached Bankai. There's not much left to go afterwards. And then, like, the voice inside of him just tells him, something is coming. And just the portals open up, and it's like, they have real villains! It's like Shigaraki and Kirogiri. But then out of nowhere, it's just like a big, like a freaking Garganta portal opens up, and it's just like freaking, it's almost like a fusion of Minos Grande and Grand Fisher, like hollows that look like that. Like a bunch of them just show up out of the freaking Garganta, and also Izuku's also there, and he did keep the scar on his chest that he got, just like how Grimjow kept the scar. And he's just like, well, well, well. Seems these Nomu things are supposed to be strong enough to defeat All Might. Let's test that theory. Hollows. It's time to feed. And it's just like basically, the Hollows have no trouble taking out the Nomus. It's just like, he's like, fire all of your Saros. And it's just like, shoo, shoo. And then they just start eating what's left. And then they become like deformed-ish. They like become like freaking like the freaking like Super Titan, like in Attack on Titan, like Super Titan. They all like get like amalgamated together, and Izuku just like uses his own spiritual pressure to like absorb them into himself, like eating it that way, like eating them that way, and he just like becomes like so much stronger. He's like, "So Dark Void, where do you think I'm at now?" And he's like, "Around a fraction of the power of the number 5, I believe. You're getting very strong. Yes, that hero of yours should be very strong." And he's just like, "Well, it seems I improved on a lot of other things. Increasing my hierro, considering what that Getsuga Tensho did, full power, would seem to be a good idea." Well, well. Seems everyone's here. Mr. Hirogi's like, "Who the hell are you?" And Shigaraki's like, "Who the hell are you?" He's just like, "Enough. Senseless chatter." And he just pops up, like, from behind Kirogiri and just, like, freaking pulls Nukior, just, like, shoot, just, like, right through him. And he just tosses him aside. And, like, Cero Blast, like, boosh! And he's just like, "Well, now you. What am I to do with you? Oh, wait, that's right." And he just powers up another Cero, and, like, it blasts Shigaraki in, like, half, like, and before the Nomu Doctor's even able to do anything, he just, like, hire number 90, Kurihitsugi. And basically the Nomu Doctor and, like, Shigaraki both get destroyed. Like, how to number 90, Kurihitsugi. And then they're just both dead. And you're just like, well, now, let our battle recommence. Bakugo, now that all the distractions are out of the way. And he's just like, shut up! Like, Bakugo's just like, shut up already. And he's just like, I'm going to get you. And then, like, freaking Uraraka's just like, wait, let me help. And then Izuku just, like, sees this, like, at the perfect opportunity. And he just, like, pops up behind Uraraka. And he's like, well, now, let's see how good you are now. She looks awfully tasty. And basically, Bakugo's like, ah! And he just goes straight for him. But he just gets, like, slapped. And basically, like, now time to end this. Cero. And it was like a Vasto Lord Ichigo sized Cero. It was like, boom! and he thinks that you think it killed Bakugo. He thinks it killed Bakugo, but actually, Bakugo's in his inner world, and he's like, "What's going on?" Basically, he basically sees the equivalent of like a Izuku Midoriya version of Zangetsu, like a old man Zangetsu, but like a Izuku as old man Zangetsu. Basically, that's basically what he sees, and he's like, "I am your Zanpakuto. This is your inner world. Do you know my true name?" And Bakugo's just like, "Izuku, is that you?" He was talking. I thought I heard something about your kindness. It was given to me. And basically, he explains the whole thing about basically whenever Izuku said "Oh, you can carry on my whole dream of being a hero," he basically gave Bakugo what was left of his all of the kindness in him, all of the good in him. So there was nothing left but to become a hollow. So basically, it does seem so. And he's like, "Izuku," and he just gets really mad at that. Like, "That is not my real name. You know my real name. Or must we do this the hard way? It seems you've lost all of your instinct. And so you are not worthy of being the king. Why should a horse ride on a king without instinct? Like, why should a horse allow itself to be ridden on by a king that does not have instinct?" And basically, Bakugo's just like, "Wait, what are you?" And he just holds out his hand and he creates a clone of Bakugo, but it's Bakugo in his a normal attire, like in the anime, his explosive gear, like a gear, his a hero gear, his explosive gear, and he has the hollow Ichigo eyes, the black and the yellow, but he has the hollow Ichigo eyes, but he's in the regular Bakugo wear, and Bakugo's still in his Shinigami wear, and basically this hollow version of Bakugo is like, "Where is your instinct? Tell me, where is it? You are not worthy of being a king, and thus we will not be ridden on like your horse. You cannot be king instinct." And basically, he's just he puts his hand on Bakugo's face, and basically, in the physical world, everything is just like. So it seems it's my turn to play. Basically, Bakugo is just basically Izuku thinks that he killed him, but he just hears so it seems it's my turn to play with Bankai. It's good for either of us if you die, right? So I guess now I have to take the wheel. Don't expect me to show mercy to your friend. And Izuku's just like, "Wait, half hollow mask? No. How? How could you have entered hollification? You're not a hollow? That's impossible." And then he's just like, "Impossible? You seem to read me all wrong." Yasuga Tensho! And basically she's like Getsuga Tensho after Getsuga Tensho, and basically basically batting him around. And basically like, I've had enough. I'm gonna blow the entire ceiling off this place. Deku, Dark Void. I'm trying to sound all Spanishy whenever I say Dark Void. It's like Dark Void. Like Spanish, Japanese-ish. Like Deku, Dark Void. Basically, he goes into his resurrection, and then basically he has the finger out, and he's like, Cero Escudos. This will magnify my power by a magnitude of magnitude, also known as times 10. And basically, Hollow Bakugo was just like, he doesn't give a shit, and he just like charges after him, and he's like, you poor fool. And it just releases all of Ceroscoros, and like the mask gets destroyed, and like Bakugo just gets freaking consumed by Ceroscoros, and like he's like almost dead, but like exerting that much Reiatsu out in like his normal like freaking release state. Like he's never actually used Ceroscoros before. He's only really like heard of it, but he's never really actually tried it out. And like increasing his power by a magnitude of like 10, like in just one blast, it like really like took him out of like his everything. And he's just like deteriorating out of the resurrection, and he's like, no, 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 no. And even his Zanpakuto breaks. It's just like, why is this happening? Why is he just coughs up blood and just falls on the ground. And basically, the next scene we have is basically All Might, and he's with Izuku, but uh, basically at this point, considering everything Izuku had tried to do before and at the USJ, before the USJ and at USJ, he's basically now considered a villain, so he was basically taken to jail. And basically like uh however many decades to life. He was basically sentenced however many decades to life. And like Inko goes up and is like, Izuku, why? Why? And Izuku is like, I would show you why, but my hands are kind of tied up right now. I'm all out of Ryatsu, and there's no one to feed on. And basically, All Might just takes Inko, and she's like, basically, he's like, I think you've seen enough. And basically, All Might's like, I bet you're wondering why we did this instead of just straight up killing you. And basically, Izuku is like, actually, no. Because, there is one thing that is a constant with you heroes. You say you're heroes, but considering everything that's happened over the time that I've been around, you guys, you seem like pretty damn good hypocrites to me. No good fucking hypocrites. And All Might is basically just like, I find it extremely lucky that we were able to keep you tranquilized long enough in order to create those special cuffs for your Reiatsu. It was hard tweaking Aizawa's ability to nullify quirks into an ability that nullifies Reiatsu and form it into something, but it was doable. It took us several nights and days, but we were able to do it. You're not going anywhere. The only thing you're going to be doing is rotting. And then Izuku's just like, wrong again. And All Might's like, Owen, what do you mean by that? And Izuku's just like before, hollows. We need to eat. You're not exactly giving me anything that would further my existence. This normal food, it's not going to satiate my existence. I'll die. You see, I need souls, not this shit. And he just kicks the tray. He just like, I can't survive off of that anymore. I need to feast souls. I need souls. And like All Might is just like, well then I guess you could consider this the death penalty. Just a really long one, considering how long you can last without souls. You were pretty strong out there, but I can see that you've pretty much taxed yourself with that attack you used. However, Bakugo, unlike what you might be thinking, and basically Izuku interrupts him and he's like, damn it, I know he's not dead. I can sense his Ryatsu. Eh, but that will give you your own problems to deal with. His inner hollow has been forced to be reawakened, or awakened in the first place, because of the fact he doesn't have instinct to kill. He never had it. He never had the instinct to kill me. So, his Shinigami side created another version of him that resembled who he used to be, and that was his hollow side that was created. That's why he had that half mask. He became so strong I had no other choice but to sign off all of my power in one blast, Cero Oscuros. I would have fought the times 10 multiplier. I would have killed him, but I guess you could say I'm actually happy that he's not dead. Now he's gonna be your damn problem with no one to help you. Like I would ever even think of doing something like that. Good luck trying to tame the beast. And that is where I'm going to end off part of the 2 of this What If. With All Might basically having to come to terms with the whole thing. And Izuku basically being, the whole thing about, he's definitely going to die. So yeah, basically they kind of did give him the death penalty. Just a very estranged version of it. Anyways, a Dark Shadow Maverick's out. A douses.